Have you ever heard of a mysterious, immortal sage who walked with prophets and possessed divine knowledge? In Islamic tradition, this figure is known as Al-Khidr, the Green One. His story is famously told in the Quran, where he encounters the prophet Moses. Moses, seeking greater wisdom, asks to follow Al-Khidr on a journey. Al-Khidr agrees, but on one condition: Moses must not question any of his actions, no matter how strange they seem. Along the way, Al-Khidr does things that appear destructive and unjust, like scuttling a boat and repairing a wall in an unwelcoming town. But each act holds a hidden lesson, revealing a deeper wisdom and divine plan that Moses couldn't see. It's a powerful story about faith, patience, and the limits of human understanding. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating stories. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, welcome to Islamic Story Visions for the very first chapter of our epic new series Al-Khidr, the Eternal Guide, the Green One. Tonight we begin a journey into one of the most enigmatic or inspiring figures ever mentioned in the Holy Quran, a man whose name is never explicitly stated in the Book of Allah, yet whose story occupies some of the most profound and mind-bending verses in Surah Al-Kahf. A servant so close to divine knowledge that Allah himself describes him as one of our servants upon whom we had bestowed mercy from us, and whom we had taught knowledge from us. Quran 18:65. Who was he? Was he a prophet, a wali friend of Allah grant an extraordinary lifespan, an angel in human form, or simply a righteous slave elevated beyond imagination? Scholars have debated for 14 centuries. The majority hold that he was a righteous servant, not a prophet, but one whom Allah singled out with direct, special ilm knowledge and a mission that intersected with the life of Prophet Musa alayhi salam in ways that still leave believers speechless. Tonight we go far back to the misty origins of this immortal sage. Imagine a time long before empires rose and fell as we know them today. A time when the children of Israel wandered under the guidance of prophets, when the seas still carried secrets older than humanity. It is in this ancient era, some say during or shortly after the time of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. Others place him contemporary with or slightly before Musa. A child is born, not in a palace, not even in a village of note. The narrations are deliberately sparse, almost as if Allah wants to protect the veil around this servant. But from the blessed lips of our Prophet Muhammad himself, and from the reports of the companions and early scholars, fragments emerge. He was from among the children of Israel. Some say from a humble family near the coast, perhaps in the lands that would later become known as the Levant, or further toward the edges of the known world. Others mention he came from a line of carpenters or simple workers, people whose hands shaped wood while their hearts shaped nearness to Allah. From his earliest years, something was different. While other children played, he sat alone by rivers and springs, watching water flow, listening to its movement as though it spoke. While others chased fleeting pleasures, he found peace in solitude, in reflection, in the quiet signs of creation. The scholars tell us he was granted an unusual trait from childhood, an insatiable thirst for deeper understanding. Not the knowledge of books or teachers at first, but the knowledge that Allah pours directly into the heart of whom He wills. He would spend long hours in dhikr, in contemplation. He would ask questions no child should ask. Why does the river never tire? Why does the sea hide its treasures? How does Allah preserve life in the smallest drop of water? And slowly, very slowly, answers began to come. Not through voices audible to others, but through an inner unveiling, through dreams, through sudden illuminations that made his young heart tremble with awe. One early story, reported in classical works like those of Ibn Kathir and Al-Falabi, with chains that vary in strength, tells of a moment that changed everything. As a young man, perhaps in his late teens, he sat by a spring of pure water at dawn. He made wudu with exceptional care. He prayed to rakas with total presence, and then, in utter humility, he raised his hands and said something to the effect of, "O Allah, you who taught Adam the names of all things, teach me what will benefit me in this world and the next. Grant me knowledge that brings me closer to you." At that moment, according to the narration, the spring before him began to bubble unusually. A gentle green light shimmered across its surface for just a few seconds, and in his heart he felt something shift forever. From that day onward, people began to notice. Wherever this young man went, Plants seemed to flourish more vibrantly. Withered grass turned green in his path. Dry streams sometimes flowed again after he passed. Sick animals drank from the water he touched and recovered. They began calling him Al-Khidr, the Green One, not because he wore green though later traditions say he often did, but because life and renewal followed him like a shadow. Yet he remained utterly humble. He never boasted. He never sought followers. He never claimed any power for himself. He only said, when asked, "Everything belongs to Allah. I am only a slave." But Allah had greater plans. As centuries passed, he, as centuries-old Khidr did not age as others did. While generations came and went, he walked on. His hair remained dark, his skin fresh, his eyes carrying the weight of countless lessons. Some narrations say Allah granted him this long life so he could serve as a hidden guide for the righteous in every era. Others say it was a test and a mercy combined, to witness the rise and fall of nations, to see the truth of Allah's decree in every twist of fate. And then came the moment that would etch his name into eternity. One day, long after Musa alayhi salam had received revelation, led Bani Israel out of Egypt, crossed the sea, and received the Torah, Allah placed in Musa's heart a profound longing. Musa, the great prophet, the one spoken to directly by Allah, stood among his people. Have you ever wondered if there's a deeper wisdom behind the things we don't understand? Today we're diving into an incredible story from the Quran about the prophet Musa, or Moses, and his journey to find a man known as Al-Khidr who possessed a special kind of knowledge given directly by God. Musa was a great prophet, but he was told there was someone who knew things he didn't. Humbled and eager to learn, Musa set out on a long journey to find him. When they finally met, Musa asked if he could follow Al-Khidr to learn from his wisdom. Al-Khidr agreed, but gave him one condition. Musa must be patient and not ask any questions about his actions until he himself chose to explain them. Musa promised he would be patient. So, their journey began. First, they boarded a small boat belonging to some poor fishermen. To Musa's shock, Al-Khidr started to damage the boat, making a hole in it. Musa couldn't hold back and asked, "Are you trying to drown its people? You've done a terrible thing." Al-Khidr simply reminded him of his promise. "Didn't I tell you that you would not be able to have patience with me?" Next, they met a young boy playing in a swift and shocking act. Al-Khidr took the boy's life. Musa was horrified. "Have you taken an innocent life? This is truly a horrible act." Again, Al-Khidr calmly replied, "Didn't I tell you that you wouldn't be able to have patience with me?" They continued on until they reached a town where the people were rude and refused them any food or hospitality. As they were leaving, they saw a wall that was about to collapse. Al-Khidr stopped and, without asking for anything in return, repaired the wall, making it strong again. Musa, completely puzzled, said, "If you had wished, you could have taken a payment for it." This was the third time. Al-Khidr then turned to Musa and said, "This is where we part ways. But now, I will tell you the meaning of the things you couldn't be patient with," he explained. "The boat I damaged belonged to poor fishermen. A tyrannical king was seizing every good boat by force. By making it look faulty, I saved it for them. As for the boy, his parents were righteous believers, but he was destined to grow up and cause them great pain through his disbelief and rebellion. God willed to replace him with a child who would be more righteous and loving, and the wall, it belonged to 2 orphan boys, and beneath it was a hidden treasure their righteous father had left for them. God wanted the wall to stand until they grew up and could claim their inheritance. All of this I did not do of my own will, but by the command of God." This powerful story teaches us that there is a divine wisdom behind events that seem tragic or unjust. It sets a beautiful reminder to trust in. Dear brothers and sisters, pause and reflect. Musa Kalamullah, the one Allah spoke to without intermediary, left his people, his family, his status, driven by a burning desire to learn more. He traveled long and hard, with only his young servant Yusha ibn Nun. They carried a salted fish as provision. At the junction of the 2 seas, scholars say likely where a river of fresh water meets the salty sea, symbolizing the meeting of 2 kinds of knowledge revealed and inspired, something miraculous happened. The fish came to life. It slipped into the water and swam away alive. That was the appointed sign Allah had given Musa. But in the fatigue of travel, they forgot, until later when they realized, they hurried back, and there by Allah's decree they found him, Al-Khidr, not majestic, not surrounded by followers, just a simple, unassuming man sitting alone. Yet Musa, the greatest prophet of his time, humbled himself completely. May I follow you so that you may teach me from what you have been taught of sound judgment. Imagine the scene, a towering prophet, staff in hand, leader of a nation, bowing his request to a man of unknown status. Al-Khidr's first words are a gentle but firm warning. Indeed, with me you will never be able to have patience. And how can you have patience for what you do not encompass in knowledge? But Musija sincere promises you will find me, if Allah wills, patient, and I will not disobey you in any order. Al-Khidr agrees, on one condition: if you follow me, do not ask me about anything until I myself make mention of it to you. They set out together, and very quickly, the first test arrives. They board a ship with poor people. Without warning, Al-Khidr tears a hole in the boat, damaging it deliberately. Musa cannot contain himself. Have you torn it open to drown its people? You have done a grave thing. Al-Khidr reminds him calmly. Did I not say that with me you would never be able to have patience? Musa apologizes, but the pattern is set. They continue. They meet a young boy innocent playing. Without hesitation, Al-Khidr kills him. Musa explodes again. Have you killed a pure soul for other than having killed a soul? You have done a deplorable thing. Again, the reminder: did I not say to you that with me you would never be able to have patience? Musa pleads for one more chance. Finally, they reach a town whose people refuse them even food or hospitality. Cold, ungrateful. Yet there stands a wall on the verge of collapse. Al-Khidr repairs it free of charge. Musa says, if you wished you could have taken payment for it. Al-Khidr stops. This is the parting between me and you. Now I will tell you the interpretation of that over which you could not have patience. And then come the revelations that shake every listener to the core. But that explanation, those three profound divine wisdoms behind the seemingly incomprehensible actions, belongs to the next chapter. Dear brothers and sisters, this chapter alone teaches us lessons deeper than oceans. Even the greatest prophet sought more knowledge with humility. True knowledge sometimes comes from the most unexpected sources. Patient savor is not just enduring hardship, it is restraining the tongue and heart when we do not yet understand Allah's hikmah. The apparent can deceive. Only Allah sees the unseen reality behind every event. Chapter 3. The Three Hidden Wisdoms. While did the unthinkable Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Islamic Story Visions for Chapter 3 of our soul-stirring series, Al-Khidr, the Eternal Guide, the Green One. In the previous chapter, we witnessed the impossible. Prophet Musa, alayhi salam, the one Allah spoke to, directly struggling to contain his righteous anger and confusion. 3 shocking acts by Al-Khidr: tearing open a poor people's boat, killing an innocent young boy, repairing a wall for ungrateful people who refused him even a meal. Each time, Musa could not hold back. Each time, Al-Khidr gently reminded him of the condition: patience without questioning. Now the moment has come. Al-Khidr turns to Musa and says, Quran 18-70-82, this is the parting between me and you. I will inform you of the interpretation of that about which you could not have patience. As for the ship, it belonged to poor people working at sea, so I intended to cause defect in it, as there was after them a king who seized every good ship by force. And as for the boy, his parents were believers, and we feared that he would overburden them by transgression and disbelief. So we intended that their Lord should substitute for them one better than him in purity and nearer to mercy. And as for the wallet, it belonged to 2 orphan boys in the city, and there was beneath it a treasure for them, and their father had been a righteous man. So your Lord intended that they reach maturity and extract their treasure as a mercy from your Lord, and I did it not of my own accord. That is the interpretation of that about which you could not have patience. Dear brothers and sisters, let these words sink deep into your heart. 3 acts that appeared evil, unjust, even criminal on the surface, yet each one was an act of pure mercy, protection, and divine foresight from Allah. 1. The damaged boat. The owners were poor fishermen. The killing of the boy. The child was not innocent in the full sense. He was destined according to Allah's foreknowledge to grow into a source of kufr, disbelief and rebellion that would drag his believing parents into grief, sin, and perhaps even disbelief themselves. Allah, in his infinite mercy, replaced him with a child who would be purer, more righteous, and a greater source of comfort and barakah for the grieving parents. What appeared as cruelty was divine compassion preventing greater harm. The repaired wall beneath the crumbling wall lay a treasure, gold, silver, or valuables belonging to two orphan boys. Their father had been a righteous man, and Allah wished to preserve this inheritance for them until they reached maturity and could manage it wisely. If the wall collapsed publicly, the treasure would be looted by the greedy townspeople. By quietly repairing it without asking for reward, Al-Khidr protected the orphans' future and honored the righteousness of their deceased father. What seemed pointless generosity was safeguarding an unseen legacy. Allah concludes the passage with words that pierce the soul, "And I did it not of my own accord." Every action came directly from Allah's command and wisdom. Al-Khidr was only the instrument acting with perfect submission, perfect knowledge of the gaib unseen that Allah had granted him for this purpose. Now reflect, dear brothers and sisters. How often do we judge events by their outward appearance? How many times have we cried out, why ya Allah, when something seemed unbearably painful or unfair? How little we see of the full picture, while Allah sees from beginning to end. This story is placed in Surah Al-Kahf for a reason. We recite it every Friday to be protected from the trials of Dio, materialism, power, and confusion. And at its core is this lesson: trust Allah's plan even when it breaks your heart. His mercy often hides behind what looks like hardship. Al-Khidr did not act out of personal whim, anger, or desire. He acted because Allah willed it, and he knew the unseen consequences. Musa alayhi salam, despite being a prophet, could not bear it because that specific ilm knowledge of the unseen realities had not been granted to him in this instance. It was a humbling reminder even for prophets. Knowledge is vast, and no one encompasses all of it except Allah. After this parting, the two great men went their separate ways. Musa returned to his people wiser, more patient, more aware of his own limits. Al-Khidr vanished once more into the folds of time, continuing his quiet service to Allah, guiding, protecting, teaching wherever the divine decree placed him. Yet his story did not end there. Legends and authentic narrations speak of sightings and encounters across centuries, a man in green robes helping the righteous in times of need, a figure at Hajj whose dua was accepted instantly, a silent sage whose mere presence brought barakah to gatherings. Some scholars say he still walks among us, drinking from the spring of life, serving Allah in hidden ways until the day of judgment. But that belongs to later chapters. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome once again to Islamic Story Visions for Chapter 4 of our profound and captivating series, Al-Khidr, the Eternal Guide, the Green One. In the last chapter, our hearts were shaken by the unveiling of the three hidden wisdoms acts that appeared unjust yet were overflowing with Allah's mercy and foresight. We saw how even Prophet Musa alayhi salam, the greatest of his era, could not grasp the full picture until it was revealed. Now we turn to one of the most whispered about aspects of Al-Khidr's existence. How did he live so long? Why does legend say he still walks the earth? And what is the mysterious spring of life that granted him this extraordinary span? The Quran itself does not explicitly state that Al-Khidr is still alive or immortal. It simply describes him as one of our servants, granted mercy and special knowledge from Allah 18 to 65. Yet from the time of the Sahaba until today, the overwhelming majority of classical scholars, tafsir authorities, and righteous narrations affirm that Al-Khidr is still among the living by the permission of Allah, continuing his quiet mission of guidance, protection, and service until the day of judgment. How is this possible? The most widely accepted explanation, drawn from authentic hadith, early tafsir, and reports from trustworthy chain centers on a single miraculous source: the spring of life, also called Ain al-Hayat, or the fountain of youth, eternal life in some traditions. This spring is not an ordinary earthly water. It is a hidden, blessed source whose water by Allah's decree grants prolonged life, renewed vitality, and preservation from the usual decay of time to whoever drinks from it sincerely and with pure intention. The most famous narration comes through reliable chains reported in works like those of Al-Hakim, Ibn Abi Shayba, and referenced by Ibn Kathir, during the time when Dhul-Qarnayn, the righteous king mentioned in Surah Al-Kahf, verses 83 to 98, was traveling the earth, building barriers and spreading justice. He reached a remote, veiled place. There he discovered this extraordinary spring. Its water was clearer than crystal, sweeter than honey, cooler than snow, yet it did not freeze or evaporate unnaturally. Al-Khidr, being a just ruler guided by Allah, did not drink from it himself out of humility. Instead, he asked his companions and soldiers, "Who among you will test this water?" One young righteous soldier, some narrations identify him as Al-Khidr, volunteered. He drank from the spring with complete trust in Allah. Immediately, a profound change occurred. His body was rejuvenated, his strength renewed, and most importantly, Allah decreed for him a long life in his service. From that moment onward, Al-Khidr became the guardian and beneficiary of this divine gift. He did not seek it for personal gain, fame, or worldly pleasure. He accepted it as a tool to serve Allah longer, to guide the lost, protect the vulnerable, teach the sincere, and witness the signs of Allah across the ages. Scholars explain, just as Allah granted Prophet Ibrahim long life and strength, just as he extended the life of some of the Ashab al-Khaf people of the cave for centuries, and just as he may still extend life to certain awliya friends of Allah in hidden ways, Al-Khidr has longevity as a specific mercy for a specific purpose. He is not truly immortal in the absolute sense no created being is. He will die when Allah decrees his time, like everyone else. But until then, he continues perhaps for hundreds or thousands of years walking among people unseen, unrecognized, fulfilling divine assignments. Stories from across Islamic history speak of encounters with a man in green. During the time of the Prophet, some companions reported seeing a stranger whose dew brought rain in drought, then vanished. In the era of Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu anhu, a mysterious figure advised on justice and then disappeared. Sufi masters like Abdul Qadir Jilani and others described meetings with a sage who knew hidden knowledge and spoke of Musa as if he had just parted from him yesterday. Even in modern times, righteous pilgrims at Hajj or in remote places have reported inexplicable help from a gentle, green-robed man whose presence brought immediate peace and barakah. These are not fairy tales, they are preserved in books of history, tafsir, and the biographies of the awliya. While not every story is Sahih authentic, the core belief that Al-Khidr remains alive serving Allah is held by the majority of al-Sunnah scholars, yet Al-Khidr's mission is hidden. He does not seek followers, he does not build madrasas or empires. He appears when needed, teaches what is necessary, then withdraws, leaving no trace except changed hearts. This teaches us profound lessons. Long life is not a blessing in itself, it is only valuable if spent in obedience to Allah. True immortality is not of the body, but of righteous deeds that live on sadaqah jariyah, knowledge taught, hearts guided. Allah's awliya can be anywhere next to you in the masjid, helping a stranger on the street, or sitting silently in a remote corner and recognized until the day when Allah reveals their rank. Have you ever heard of Al-Khidr, the mysterious figure from the Quran who possessed knowledge beyond even that of Prophet Musa, peace be upon him? He's one of the most intriguing characters in Islamic tradition, and a big question always comes up: was he a prophet? Let's dive into what we know. The Quran tells us in Surah Al-Kahf that Allah granted him rahma or mercy, and ilm or knowledge from his own presence. This special knowledge allowed him to do things that seemed strange to Prophet Musa, like scuttling a boat or building a wall for ungrateful villagers, but each action had a hidden wisdom, a divine purpose that Musa couldn't initially see. So, does this make him a prophet? The scholars have different views on this. One group, including figures like Ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn Kathir, argues that he was indeed a prophet. Their reasoning is simple. Only a prophet would receive direct revelation and knowledge from Allah to this degree. His actions, which involved taking a life, could only be justified if commanded directly by God, a command that comes through prophethood. It makes sense, right? Receiving divine instructions and acting upon them is a hallmark of a prophet. However, another group of scholars believes Al-Khidr was a wali, or a righteous saint, but not a prophet. They suggest that the knowledge he received was a form of ilham or divine inspiration, which is something a non-prophet can also experience. They point out that the Quran doesn't explicitly call him a prophet. Unlike others such as Musa or Isa, this view emphasizes Allah's ability to grant special wisdom to whomever he wills, without them needing the title of prophet. Think of it like a special connection to the divine, a gift of insight. Then there's the fascinating question: is Al-Khidr still alive? Stories of people meeting him have been passed down for centuries. Many Sufis and scholars have reported encounters, describing a wise green-robed man who offers guidance and then vanishes. These accounts are beautiful, but most mainstream scholars, like Ibn al-Jawzi and others, argue that he has passed away like all other mortals. They base this on the verse in the Quran which says that no human before Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was granted immortality. So, was Al-Khidr a prophet, a saint, or something else entirely? The truth is, the Quran and Hadith leave it open to interpretation. What's most important is the lesson his story teaches us, to trust in Allah's divine plan, even when we don't understand it. It's a powerful reminder that there is always a deeper wisdom at play. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The most authentic narrations come directly from our beloved messenger. In Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, the Prophet said, "Once Musa was delivering a sermon to the children of Israel when a man asked who was the most knowledgeable among the people. Musa said, 'I am.' Allah rebuked him because he did not refer knowledge back to Allah. Allah revealed to him, 'There is a servant of mine at the junction of the two seas who is more knowledgeable than you.'" This hadith shows even prophets can be tested in humility, and knowledge is Allah's to distribute. In another authentic narration, the Prophet described Al-Khidr's appearance indirectly through the story, emphasizing his role as a hidden teacher. No hadith calls him a prophet, reinforcing the majority scholarly position. Even after his parting from Musa, reports of Al-Khidr persisted preserved in reliable historical and biographical works. During the caliphate of Umar ibn al-Khattab, a mysterious man appeared in Medina advised on a matter of justice, then vanished. Umar remarked, "That was Al-Khidr." Abu Muslim al-Kalani narrated meeting a man in green robes who taught him profound dhikr and disappeared. Imam al-Nahawi and others recorded accounts from pilgrims in Makkah who received unexplained help from a stranger whose dua brought immediate relief. In the time of Sheikh Abdul Qadir al-Gilani, he described spiritual meetings with Al-Khidr in the unseen realm, receiving guidance. Even in recent centuries, righteous people in Sham, Hijaz and North Africa have shared similar stories, always humble, always vanishing after fulfilling a need. These encounters are not mass sightings or public miracles, they are private, personal, and always tied to increasing iman taba or protection. They remind us Allah's aliyah can be closer than we think, yet hidden until He wills revelation. Whether prophet or wali, Al-Khidr's rank is immense, known only to Allah. What matters is the lesson. Chapter 6. Timeless Lessons from Al-Khidr and Musa. For every believer, Tode Bismillahunar. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi barakatuh. Welcome back to Islamic Story Visions for Chapter 6 of our soul-stirring series, Al-Khidr, the Eternal Guide, the Green One. We have walked with Prophet Musa alayhi salam through confusion, impatience, and finally awe. We have witnessed Al-Khidr's hidden acts of mercy disguised as mystery. We have explored his possible status, his miraculous longevity, and the reports of his continued presence among us. Now, in this chapter, we bring it all home. What does this Quranic story recited every Friday in Surah Al-Kahf actually mean for you and me in 2026? In our daily struggles, doubts, trials, and search for closeness to Allah. The story is not ancient history. It is a living manual for the believer facing the fitna of our time: materialism, impatience, questioning Allah's plan, seeking knowledge without humility, and dealing with events that seem unjust or incomprehensible. Here are the most powerful practical lessons distilled from the entire narrative. 1. Humility in seeking knowledge. Even the greatest can learn more. Musa alayhi salam was Kalimullah, one Allah spoke to directly, yet he left everything to seek a teacher who knew something he did not. He said, "May I follow you so that you may teach me?" 18 to 66th lesson for us. No matter how much ilm we have degrees, tafsir hadith memorization. Years of study never let ego stop us from learning from someone Allah has blessed with different hikmah. The arrogant say, "I already know." The wise say, "Teach me." 2. True patience so bears restraining the tongue when you dant he understand. Musa could not hold back 3 times because the actions looked wrong. Al-Khidr kept reminding, "Did I not tell you that you would not be able to have patience with me?" 1875 P. B. Lesson for today. When calamity strikes, loss of job, illness, betrayal, unanswered dua, our first instinct is to ask why or complain. The higher level of sabr is to say, Allah knows best. I trust His wisdom even if I see only the surface. This is the sabr that turns trials into treasures. 3. Never judge by outward appearance. Mercy hides in strange forms. The torn boat saved the poor. The killed boy spared believing parents greater pain. The free repair protected orphans' inheritance. All looked evil, all were pure good. Lesson. In our lives, the thing we hate most today might be the greatest mercy tomorrow. A closed door, a painful rejection, a delayed risk could be Allah protecting us from unseen harm. Train your heart to say, perhaps. Ever feel like you have all the answers? Like you've figured things out? It's a common feeling, but there's a powerful story in the Quran that reminds us just how vast knowledge truly is, especially the knowledge that belongs to Allah alone. Let's dive into the incredible journey of Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, with the mysterious figure known as Qu'il. This story, found in Surah Al-Kahf, is packed with profound lessons. Musa, a great prophet, thought he was the most knowledgeable person on earth. So Allah sent him on a journey to learn from someone who possessed a different kind of knowledge, one that came directly from the divine. Their journey begins on a boat. Out of nowhere, Khidr makes a hole in it. Musa is shocked. Why would he damage the vessel of people who gave them a free ride? Khidr's response was simple: be patient, you don't have the full picture. Later, they meet a young boy and Khidr takes his life. Musa is horrified. How could he do such a terrible thing to an innocent soul? Again, Khidr reminds him of the need for patience. Finally, they reach a town that refuses them hospitality, yet Khidr spends time repairing a crumbling wall for free. Musa is completely bewildered. This is where the wisdom unfolds. Khidr explains his actions, which were all commanded by Allah. The damaged boat was saved from a tyrannical king who was seizing all good boats. By making it look faulty, Khidr saved it for its poor owners. The young boy was destined to grow up and bring misery and disbelief upon his righteous parents. By taking him, Allah planned to bless them with a better, more devout child. And the war, it concealed a treasure belonging to 2 orphan boys, and by repairing it, Khidr ensured it would be safe until they came of age. What does this teach us? First, Allah's knowledge is absolute. We only see a tiny fraction of reality, while He sees the past, present, and future. What seems like a tragedy to us might be a hidden mercy. Second, it's a powerful lesson against arrogance. No matter how much we think we know, there's always more to learn. We should always be humble and seek beneficial knowledge, the kind that brings us closer to Allah, not the kind that inflates our ego. This incredible story is part of Surah Al-Kahf, which the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, encouraged us to recite every Friday. He said it would be a light for us from one Friday to the next and a protection from the trials of the Dajjal, the Antichrist. It's a weekly reminder to trust in Allah's plan, to recognize His hidden mercies, and to stay humble in our quest for knowledge. So next Friday, take some time to read and reflect on these verses. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Islamic Story Visions for Chapter 7 of our profound series Al-Khidr, the Eternal Guide, the Green One. We have reflected on the timeless lessons from his encounter with Musa alayhi salam: humility, patience, trust in the unseen, and the hidden mercies of Allah. Now we step into something even more wondrous: the reports and traditions that speak of Al-Khidr's continued presence and subtle role in the Ummah long after the time of Musa. These accounts are not myths or fairy tales. They come from books of history, biographies of the righteous tafsir works, and narrations preserved by trustworthy scholars across centuries. While not every single story carries the highest level of authentication, the core belief that Al-Khidr remains alive by Allah's permission, serving in hidden ways, is widely accepted among Al-Sunnah scholars. After parting from Musa, Al-Khidr did not disappear into legend. He continued his mission, appearing when the Ummah needed guidance, protection, or a reminder of Allah, always humble, always vanishing after his task was done. Here are some of the most well-known and meaningful reports from Islamic history. During the caliphate of Umar ibn al-Khattab, radiyallahu anhu, a stranger appeared in Medina during a time of drought and hardship. He approached Umar and advised him on a matter of justice and governance with such depth that Umar was struck by his insight. After speaking, the man left. Umar later said to those around him, "That was Al-Khidr. The advice brought relief and barakah to the people." In the era of the Tabi'in, Abu Muslim al-Khawlani, a renowned ascetic and scholar, narrated, "I was traveling when I met a man in green robes. He taught me a powerful dhikr and supplication. When I turned to thank him, he was gone." Abu Muslim recognized the description and said, "That was Al-Khidr." Among the great awliya Sheikh Abdul Qadir al-Jilani d. 561, the founder of the Qadari Tariqa, described spiritual encounters with Al-Khidr in the realm of the heart. He received guidance and reminders that strengthened his path. Similar accounts appear in the lives of other masters like Imam al-Ghazali, Sheikh Ahmad, Arafai, and later figures in the Sufi traditions, always as quiet, illuminating meetings that increased iman and closeness to Allah. During times of fitna and danger, there are preserved stories from the Crusades, the Mongol invasions, and later periods of turmoil. A mysterious figure in green guiding Muslim fighters to safety, or appearing to a scholar in a besieged city with words that renewed hope and strategy. In one narration from Sham during Ottoman times, a righteous man lost in the desert was led to water by a stranger who then vanished, leaving behind a sense of barakah that sustained him for years. In the Hijaz and during Hajj, pilgrims across centuries have reported a gentle man helping the weak carry their belongings up the hills of Arafat, or sitting in quiet dhikr whose presence made hearts soften and tears flow. After a brief exchange of wisdom, he would disappear into the crowd, leaving people asking, "Who was that?" Even in more recent times, righteous people in places like Morocco, Yemen, the Levant, and Indonesia have shared similar experiences. A stranger offering counsel during personal crisis, a dua accepted instantly after meeting him, or unexplained help arriving exactly when needed. These stories remain private, rarely publicized, because true awliya do not seek attention. What ties all these accounts together? Al-Khidr never claims status. He never builds a following. He never stays long enough to be recognized publicly. He appears, fulfills a divine purpose, guidance, protection, reminder of Tawhid, withdraws. His role is not to lead openly like prophets or caliphs, but to serve as Allah's hidden instrument for the Ummah. These reports teach us vital truths for our time. Allah never abandons His servants. Even in the darkest eras, He sends subtle help through His righteous ones. The greatest aid often comes unseen through a kind word, a timely reminder, a stranger's help. Do not seek fame or visible karamat miracles. True nearness to Allah is quiet, consistent obedience. Be open-hearted to everyone you meet. The one who helps you today might be carrying Allah's mercy in disguise. Increase your dua for the hidden righteous, O Allah. Bless your awliya wherever they are, and make us among them or benefit from them. Dear brothers and sisters, if these stories of Al-Khidr's ongoing service have filled your heart with hope and wonder, if they remind you that Allah's mercy is active even now, in hidden corners of the world, then let that feeling move you to action. Subscribe to Islamic Story Visions and activate the bell. Chapter 8 will explore how we can seek barakah similar to Al-Khidr's in our own lives, practical steps to draw closer to Allah's hidden mercies, and the final spiritual lessons before our conclusion. Like this video to spread this reminder of Allah's living mercy to more souls. Comment below with one heartfelt word, Khidr, if you ask Allah to let you benefit from His righteous servants. Signe. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Islamic Story Visions for Chapter 8 of our heart-touching series, Al-Khidr, the Eternal Guide. The Green One. We have traveled far from the junction of the two seas, through hidden wisdoms and divine mercies, to reports of Al-Khidr's quiet service across the centuries. Now the most important question arises. How can ordinary believers like us draw closer to the kind of barakah, guidance, and hidden mercy that Al-Khidr embodied? How do we invite Allah's special favor into our lives, not by seeking miracles or long life, but by becoming vessels ready for His mercy? Al-Khidr was not special because of the spring of life alone. He was special because of his heart, complete submission, constant awareness of Allah, humility, silence when needed, action when commanded, and zero attachment to the world. Here are practical, actionable steps rooted in the Quran, Sunnah, and the spirit of Al-Khidr, a story that any one of us can begin today to open the doors of similar birth. 1. Purify your intention, Nija. Seek only Allah's pleasure. Al-Khidr acted solely for Allah, never for reward, fame, or recognition. Start every day by renewing your Naya, Ya Allah. Make everything I do today solely for you. Before any act per work, helping someone pause and say inwardly, this is for your face alone. Pure intention attracts Allah's special mercy more than any visible deed. To increase silent dhikr and contemplation, Al-Khidr was a man of deep reflection by springs and seas, listening to creation as signs of the Creator. Make it a daily habit. Spend 10 to 15 minutes alone after Fajr or before sleep in quiet dhikrs of Hanala, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, without phone, without speaking. Sit by water if possible, a river, sea, or even a bowl of water, and reflect. How does this water obey Allah perfectly? How can my heart obey like that? This builds the inner stillness Al-Khidr carried. 3. Practice extreme humility. 1. Help others quietly and without expecting thanks. Al-Khidr repaired the wall for orphans without asking for payment. He helped the poor fisherman without announcing it. Become a secret helper. Give sadaqah anonymously. Cover someone's fault. Feed a stranger. Make dua for people in secret. The Prophet said, the best sadaqah is that given in secret. These hidden acts mirror Al-Khidr's way and draw Allah's hidden barakah. 2. Hold firm to sabr in trials without questioning why. When hardship comes, illness, loss, delay, remember the boat, the boy, the war. Say immediately, Allah knows best. I trust His plan. Make this dua often. Allahumma inni azaluka husnal hatima wa aluka ridaka fil qada. O Allah, I ask you for a good end and contentment with your decree. Sabr without complaint is the key that unlocks unseen mercies. 3. Recite Surah Al-Kahf consistently every Friday. This is the direct sunnah protection linked to this story. Read it fully, or at least the first 10 verses. Protection from Dial or the story of Musa and Al-Khidr. Reflect on one lesson each week. Teach it to your children or family. The Prophet promised light between Fridays and shielding from major fitna. For make dua specifically for Allah's hidden mercy and guidance. Al-Khidr was guided by direct divine knowledge. Ask Allah for your share. Ya Allah, grant me beneficial knowledge from your presence. Make me among your hidden righteous servants. Guide me in ways I cannot see, and let your mercy encompass me in every moment. Make this dua after every salah in the last third of the night and during prostration. Dear brothers and sisters, Al-Khidr's barakah was not magic, it was the fruit of a heart completely surrendered to Allah. We cannot drink from the spring of life, but we can drink from the same source he did. Tawhid, taqwa, humility, and sincere love for Allah. Start small today. One step of sincerity can open doors you never imagined. If any of these steps has ignited something in your soul, if you feel ready to live more quietly, more humbly, more trustingly for Allah, then act on it now. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Islamic Story Visions for Chapter 9 of our transformative series, Al-Khidr, the Eternal Guide, the Green One. We have walked together through one of the most profound narratives in the Quran, from the longing of Prophet Musa alayhi salam to learn more, to the shocking acts that hid divine mercy, to the timeless lessons of patience, humility, trust, and hidden birth. We have seen how Al-Khidr's story continues to echo through the ages, with reports of his quiet service reminding us that Allah's mercy never sleeps. Now, as we near the end, let us pause and reflect deeply on what Al-Khidr truly leaves behind. Not a grave we can visit, not a book he authored, not a visible legacy of buildings or followers, but something far more enduring, a living example of total submission to Allah's decree, a mirror for every believer to see where our own hearts stand in the face of the unseen. The eternal legacy of Al-Khidr can be summed up in these core truths that pierce the heart. 1. Allah's plan is always perfect, even when it breaks ours. The torn boat, the lost child, the repaired wall all appeared as loss and injustice, yet each was salvation. In your life, the door that slammed shut, the person who left, the risk that delayed may be Allah protecting you from a greater harm you cannot see. Al-Khidr teaches us to respond not with why me, but with Alhamdulillah for what I do not know. 2. The greatest knowledge is the knowledge of Allah's names and attributes. Al-Khidr's ilm ladun was not worldly science or philosophy, it was insight into Allah's wisdom, mercy, and control over every atom. Seek that knowledge above all. Know Ar-Rahman, Al-Hakim, Al-Latif, Al-Alim. When you truly know these names, trials become teachers, not punishments. True greatness lies in hidden obedience. Al-Khidr never sought the spotlight. He acted, then withdrew. In an age obsessed with visibility, likes, followers, public praise, his way is revolutionary. Do good in secret, let Allah make it known if He wills. The reward for unseen deeds is multiplied beyond imagination. Every believer can carry a spark of Al-Khidr's light. You do not need the spring of life or centuries to matter. One sincere dua, one act of kindness without expectation, one moment of sabr in silence can ripple through lives like his did. Become the hidden mercy for someone today. A listening ear, a forgiven debt, a shared meal, a private dua. The story calls us back to tawakkul and hope in a world of anxiety, uncertainty, and fitna. Al-Khidr reminds us Allah has servants working in ways we cannot fathom. He has not left us alone. His angels, His awliya, His decree move in harmony for the one who trusts Him. As we close this reflection, let us raise our hands together in a final, heartfelt dua, inspired by Al-Khidr's life and story. Ya Allah, you who taught Al-Khidr knowledge from your presence, grant us a share of Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the final chapter of our journey on Islamic Story Visions. Al-Khidr, the Eternal Guide, the Green One. Alhamdulillah. We have reached the end of this series together. We began at the junction of the two seas, where a mighty prophet humbled himself to learn from a hidden servant. We witnessed acts that seemed shocking, only to be unveiled as pure mercy from Allah. We journeyed to the spring of life, explored the scholarly discussions about his status, and considered the reports of his continued presence. We also learned practical ways to invite His kind of barakah into our lives and reflected on how to keep His light alive in our hearts. Now, in this concluding chapter, let us gather every single thread into one powerful, eternal call to action. Al-Khidr is so much more than just a story from Surah Al-Kahf. He is a living invitation from Allah to every believer in every age, including us. Right here, right now, in this time of confusion, speed, noise, and constant trials, His legacy is not found in grand monuments or impressive titles. It is found in the quiet, conscious choices we make every single day. It's about choosing silence over hasty words when we don't understand something. It's about choosing trust over complaint when Allah's plan feels difficult. It's about choosing to do good in secret rather than seeking public praise. It's about choosing to see Allah's mercy behind every single closed door and choosing to seek knowledge not for our ego but simply to become a better servant of Allah. In a world that constantly screams for attention, Al-Khidr teaches us the profound power of serving in silence. In a world that demands instant answers and immediate gratification, He teaches us to be patient and wait on Allah's perfect timing and wisdom. In a world that is obsessed with visible signs of success, He shows us that the greatest success of all is a hidden closeness to our Creator. This is His eternal call to you and me. Live as though you are walking beside Al-Khidr. Before we part, let us raise our hands one last time in a collective dua, drawing from the essence of Al-Khidr's life. Ya Allah, you who granted Al-Khidr knowledge from your presence and made him a vessel of your hidden mercy, extend the same mercy to us. Grant us patience like Musa sought, submission like Al-Khidr lived, and trust in your unseen wisdom. Purify our intentions, silence our tongues in haste, soften our hearts in trials, and make us among your righteous servants whether known or hidden. Protect our ummah, guide our steps, forgive our shortcomings, and enter us into Jannah al-Firdaus with the prophets, the truthful, the martyrs, and the righteous. Reunite us with Al-Khidr, Musa, Muhammad, and all your beloved ones in the highest ranks. Ameen, Ameen, Ameen. Ya Rab al-Alamin. Dear brothers and sisters, if this series has moved you, opened your heart, or reminded you of Allah's perfect plan, if Al-Khidr's quiet light now burns a little brighter in your soul, then do not let it fade. Subscribe to Islamic Story Visions right now and activate the bell notifications. More powerful stories of the prophets, the righteous, the women of Jannah, the companions, and the signs of the hour are coming, each one a reminder to draw closer to Allah. Like this final video to help spread this light far and wide, so more souls can benefit from Al-Khidr's eternal call. Comment below with one simple, sincere word, Ameen, if you join us in this dua and commit to living even a small part of Al-Khidr's legacy today. The Prophet said, whoever guides to good has the reward of the one who does it. May Allah accept this series as Sadaqah Jariyah from all of us who watched, reflected, and shared. May He make Al-Khidr's hikmah a part of our character. May He keep us firm on His path until our last breath. We will meet again very soon, inshallah, with new stories that illuminate the heart. Until then, stay in diqqa, hold to the Quran, treat people with mercy, and